Well, we are delighted to be joined now by Thomas Flohr, who is the founder and chairman of VistaJet. He joins us from Milan. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Mr. Flohr. Very exciting news for VistaJet. What does this mean for your company?
Well, how are you? Great to see you. Well, we're extremely excited to serve our new and existing clients. And like you said, it's exactly in line with the vision of the leadership of the country. Obviously, with our global fleet, we have the infrastructure, we have the operations in place to immediately start serving. We actually already had our first flights in the country. And, you know, on the back of the first half of 2025, we saw a 32% increase in our program members in the kingdom year over year. And that's kind of like highlighting the drive and demand for both domestic and the global flying that is coming from the country.
And when you say your program in Saudi Arabia, what does that mean? People who've bought into a sort of a subscription, a membership, how does it work?
That's exactly right. So typically, we're making it very, very simple for our clients. Rather than having to buy an airplane or a fraction of an airplane, they just buy the hours they need. It's a 3-year subscription, and they buy as many in America or in Asia or in Europe. It's a global, simple membership. Very short contract, and it allows having access to our fleet of approximately 250 aircraft, no matter where and within shortest notice.
So what does your arrival in the Saudi domestic market mean for Saudi Arabia?
Well, it really brings the quality of operation that Vista has established since now more than 20 years on every continent around the world. And we can now offer exactly the same operational and service quality that we do anywhere else in the world. And so, as I mentioned earlier, it is our international clients that can now continue to use Vista within the country. And it's, of course, our very loyal and long-term Saudi client base that we have that can now use us within the country. And obviously, we're very excited to welcome a whole lot of new clients, being it large corporations or ultra-high net worth individuals, family offices that can join the Vista program.
I imagine you're pretty streamlined, but nevertheless, you're going to have some sort of a presence on the ground, I'm assuming. I mean, will you be hiring during the course of the next few months?
Of course, we in anticipation, we have been hiring. Our leader from a Salesforce point of view is actually Saudi since many years, so we have an advantage right there. And we're an attractive place to work for. So we'll continue to add to our Salesforce, continue to add to our operational infrastructure as the demand will be growing for our local operations.
Let's talk a bit about your future Saudi operation. I mean, what do you expect are going to be the main routes?
Well, I think it's definitely between the main cities in Saudi, but also, you know, there are some smaller airfields and smaller areas where, you know, either investors or business people need to get to very, very efficiently, maybe only stay for 24 hours and fly straight back to Riyadh or Jeddah. It's exactly that what we're serving within the country, making it so much more palatable and easy to use private jets within the country, and most importantly, in a very efficient way.
Tell us a bit about what it's been like getting set up in Saudi Arabia. What have been your main sort of takeaways?
Well, it has been an incredibly pleasant experience to work with the Gaga and the leadership in this process. It's a normal process that we have to go through. There is a lot of diligence. There is a lot of detailed understanding exactly how we operate. And that has been done in an extremely transparent way. And obviously, we're extremely pleased to have been awarded the license to fly within the country and now serve the country with our fleet, the famous silver with a red stripe fleet, and its impeccable service standards that we offer already everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, and you know, the very first foreign private jet operator to be given that award, that privilege. I want to ask you, I mean, you've touched upon this a little bit already, but who do you see as being sort of the typical VistaJet client? I mean, do you think the profile of the typical VistaJet client in Saudi Arabia will be any different from anywhere else in the world?
Not really. I mean, we have 15 years of experience flying into Saudi from an international aspect, and we have a very significant customer base of Saudi companies and Saudi family offices or ultra high net worth individuals that have chosen the Vista subscription over buying an airplane. And I think it's on the back of that 15 years experience that also impressed the authorities that we already have, and that we're now expanding into these local flying opportunities. So I expect very much the same type of client between corporations that don't need to put an aircraft on a balance sheet. Think about it. When you buy one airplane, it's very often, I always say, it's difficult to decide which one you fly, and you buy let's say a mid-range airplane. It takes you nonstop to Europe, but if you need to go to Asia or to America, you can't do it nonstop. You need to stop somewhere. But then again, if you buy an ultra long range, let's say Global 7500, our leading product, you get nonstop to America or to Tokyo, but do you really need to fly from Riyadh to Jeddah on a 7500? The answer is no. And that's exactly the Vista advantage, where you choose the airplane right for your trip. And, Challenger 350 is perfectly fine for a shorter hop, and the ultra long range can be covered. So if you subscribe to our Vista program, you dedicate for a specific flight the airplane which is best for you. And that's incredibly efficient. And also from a cost point of view, much less expensive than owning a full aircraft. And you have the subscription 365 days a year. We all know aircraft are not available 365 days a year. Maybe they're available 310 days. And those are the efficiency drivers I think the kingdom is looking for. And we're bringing exactly that efficiency to the country.
Right, so you're basically saying companies have got the choice of not just having one plane, but having a whole fleet of planes for short haul, medium haul, long haul flights, or having a subscription with an operator like you. So I think you've done a good sell on that one. What are the main reasons people give you for flying private?
Well, look, I mean, it is certainly the efficiency, the time efficiency of whether it is, a business leader, whether it is, maybe it's a country leadership, it is executives, ambassadors, what have you. It is really that efficiency to get point to point in the shortest way possible, avoiding big airports, avoiding big queues, avoiding to change aircraft, or if you're flying in a more remote location. If you look at the privacy element of it, when you fly Vista, you're flying, yes, on a silver aircraft with a red stripe, but if you own an airplane, then it's a registered tail, and today that's very visible who is flying from where to where on the global radar side. So privacy is a big driver for our business. Efficiency is time. Gaining time is a big driver for flying private, because business leaders, political leaders, they have one thing all in common, and this is they're short of time because they need to spend that extra time either with their employees or driving opportunities forward or exploring maybe new investment opportunities somewhere on the globe. And at the end, let's also not forget, we all have families and families to spend time with. And that is really where business jets are driving that efficiency of time savings into people's schedules and on a point-to-point basis into the remotest locations.
Okay, so really it's efficiency, it's time saving and privacy that sort of seem to be the key drivers there. When it comes to this market, and just sort of more broadly talking about the region, the Middle East, any numbers to share with us, any trends you've identified, any changes you're seeing in the private jet market here?
Well, the Middle East is booming, and we see significant growth. So the market share the Middle East is taking over the global market share sees a significant uptick in demand. Obviously, our global 7500 fleet that we have, 18 of those aircraft, is very much suited extremely well for the Middle East, because basically this aircraft can take you nonstop to pretty much any point on the planet. And where the Middle East is geographically, that's very, very helpful. So we see business leaders from any region coming into any continent, coming into the Middle East and flying back, very often on very short trips. They're always stressed for time, and that's where the flying offices, we call it, with the highest speed internet available, et cetera, allows them to be so efficient, conduct their business, and come back rested, given the sleep experience, the low cabin pressure that we have in our aircraft, et cetera, and the service where they can be most efficient with their business conduct.
Any possible IPO or possible Saudi investment, for example, into VistaJet?
Well, look, we're a private company, as you know. I still own the company about 85%. We've just recently done capital market transactions earlier this year between equity and some amazing debt financing of about 1.3 billion. So at this point in time, we're very happy with the capital structure that we have. So right now, no plans.
Okay. My colleagues wanted to ask some quirky questions, and they suggested I put them to you. I mean, one of the things we talk about in the newsroom is how we imagine you get some pretty unusual requests from passengers around the world. Anything stand out as a particularly unusual request that you probably won't forget?
Well, look, I mean, we're always tailoring our service really to the needs of a specific client that we have, and clients have very, very different demands and requests for the service. Obviously, it's highly confidential of what we're doing, but maybe a one from sports, and I think this was even somewhere in the press. There was a sports team that wanted to conduct, I think, 3 marathons within a week on 3 different continents, and we made that possible. But it's again, there's a try for it. Maybe there was a donation program that was driving this, but again, we're bringing the world together with these jets that are really so efficiently getting you from continent to continent, and that's where we're tailoring to every single one of our clients.
Okay, any strange places that you've been asked to take your passengers to on any occasion?
Well, we see the world as a wonderful place. There is no strange country. There is no strange place. We welcome any client base in around the world and from their background, and that's why maybe that's the original Swiss element that we bring to the table as being neutral. And we're flying to 196 countries per year. So for us, there are no strange places. There are maybe sometimes challenging places to fly to. I was in Bhutan a year ago, very challenging airport, beautiful country. But again, close to 200 countries every single year. We're doing over 100,000 flights per year. Of course, every flight is a takeoff or landing. So from a math point of view, think about it. That's every 2.5 minutes. There's either a takeoff or a landing on a Vista airplane somewhere in the world. So it's really a truly global infrastructure and operation.
Okay, and just lastly, one person described private jets as Ubers for billionaires. What do you say to that?
I don't think so. I don't think this is a measurement of wealth. Is it more expensive than flying commercial? In most cases, yes. But if you take 10 business leaders from Saudi to New York, it might be equal or even less expensive if they fly first class versus on a Vista airplane. I think, again, I come back to corporations have to be efficient. They have to be efficient with the time of their leaders, and they take very prudent business decisions. And that's really where the private jet market fits into. There are more than 25,000 corporate jets in the world. And for that very purpose of creating corporate and family offices and government's efficiencies, and that's exactly where we're serving. And as you know, we have the largest global infrastructure on every single continent, and we feel it's still the beginning. There's so much more of market share to take with our business model, And we're obviously super excited that that we're working in such close collaboration with Saudi Arabia to now bring these services to this wonderful country.
Okay, well, many congratulations again for being the first private jet operator to be allowed to fly point to point domestically within Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Thomas Flohr, the founder and chairman of VistaJet. Thank you for your time, sir.